the burden you were born to bear. The inner fire you must learn to share. Endure for the child who has yet to cry. Endure till the last of the suns run dry. Let cowards falter, let tyrants fall. Your purpose stands above them all. You are the blade, the shield, the spark. You are the torch against the dark. One flame, one will, one destiny. Will you embrace humanity? Guard every heartbeat, hold every line. Forge in your souls an unbreakable spark. You bleed yet rise, you starve yet give. In agony you still choose to live. And when the void begins to scream, it's you who dares to dream. Dare to build, dare to believe. Dare to suffer, dare to grieve. Dare to rise though none remain. Dare to speak my very name. He is with us, the Emperor. Quotes. I am not God, I am not myth. I am the sum of all you give. No throne is mine without your flame. I speak the truth. You speak my name. The Emperor one soul, one will, one destiny. Will you embrace humanity? Hold fast though terror claws at the gate. Burn bright though ash may become your fate. Heroes fall and bastions burn, but hope is forged in pain. So hold the line and you will learn. Our purpose will always remain. Your whispered vows light the astral sea. Their woven blaze is the path to me. Go forth, be more, and let none forget. The Emperor has not perished yet.
Hello, hello. Greetings, Ronets. I'm Interrogator Rosado Rivas, Attaché Simulating Inquisitor Marco of the Order Hereticus, and welcome to Looking Human Paint Minis. I'm coming at you live from the grim dark future, currently broadcasting from the high world of Virago. The theme for the stream is Chords and Lament and Hope by the venerable liturgist Adam Bell. We also have music from Wyma 40K, The Mechanic is composed by Guillaume David, and the copyrighted Bulwark Studios. And we have music for Wyma 40K Dark Tide, which is composed by Jesper Kidd, the copyrighted Fat Shark Games. All the music is provided to us by ende.app and pixabay.com. Today we're continuing to paint Kor'Sarro Khan, captain of the 3rd Company of the White Skies. And he's looking pretty sweet if I say so myself. Here, let me get my camera up here so I can see what I'm painting. Or at least what you're seeing that I'm painting, and make sure that I'm on screen at all times. And where is... There it is. I hope you all had a good week. A little bit of announcement for today. We got Bobo Fairy saying, "Oh, you started early." Yes, I sure did. Something can't wait to start painting. But how you doing, Bobo Fairy? Long time no see. How you been? Yeah, I just got a little bit of housekeeping to do. Pretty much next week I will not be streaming. So next Sunday there will be no stream next Sunday. So be prepared for that. I'm gonna try to knock one out tomorrow. That way I'm not leaving you guys hanging, but I don't know if I'll be able to. So it's a tentative, maybe tomorrow we'll do another one. But yeah, Kor'Sarro Khan, we've gotten pretty far with him so far. I'd say we still have quite a bit left to go, but he is looking pretty spiffy. I'm gonna do some final tweaking on his bird before I move on to something else. Falcon Fairy says, "Doing better now, thanks for asking." Oh, happy to hear it. I just started, so I won't hear you just yet. Okay, well, let me know when you're back. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to give one final highlight to the bird. I feel like he still needs a little bit of sheen on him. It's like I know that a lot of birds got this very nice sheen on them, and I'd like to represent that somehow. So I'm gonna go with a more extreme color. Let me get my camera back up here. Hey, welcome back. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. That's what I was saying. But what you been up to this week? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some screaming skull onto the bird, so we can get a bit of a sheen on the feathers. And we have Moon Inquisitor Callahan says, "Salutaciones interrogatoris." Yeah, we go. Yeah, how you doing, Lord Inquisitor Callahan? Greetings from Virago. And Milady sends her greetings as well. And 78 Rose saying, "Hi, Rosario. How you doing, 78 Rose? How you been?" Everybody had a good week? A little bit of house cleaning that I need to do. Again, I will not be streaming next week. So I want you all to know that, so you're not kind of wondering, "Oh, where's Rosario? Is he okay? Did he get caught by heretics?" Don't worry, I will not have been caught by heretics. I am just gonna be out on a mission. So, I might be in slight danger, but I will be back. No worries, I have faith in the Omniscience that I will be okay. So, I will be trying to do a bit of, a stream tomorrow. I am not sure if I can pull it off. It's like a tentative, maybe I can do one. So keep an eye out for that. And Bubblegum Fairy says, "Working on a knitting blanket for a friend's baby." Ooh, very nice. What colors are you adding to the blanket? And the God Emperor Man says, "I see that you're doing well." Thank you, my Emperor. Yes, I am. Everything is going hunky-dory. How you doing, Emperor? The bowl on Fairy says it's blue and pink together. It looks like cotton candy. Ooh, very cute. I like it. Hope, they all like it as well. Emperor says, "Oh well, happy to hear it." Well as things get in the Imperium, you know, it's always some kind of battlefield going on, and I'm glad you're doing well. So yeah, I figured I'd add a bit of a sheen here. The top of his, I guess, feathers, like around the back of his, like upper part of his shoulder blades, I guess. And the Emperor of Mass says, "Just yesterday I finished a model. Hold tight, uploading now." Woo, sweet. Yeah, let me know when it's up. I made a little mistake there. I accidentally hit a little too much of that, so I'm gonna have to go back with the brown a bit. But I'm liking how he's looking. I gotta just do a little bit on the top of his head. Alright, I'll be checking that in a bit. The Emperor says it's up. So give me a second, let me just see if I can clean up that little error I just made on the bird's feathers here. Alright, so I'm gonna go over it with some Baylor Brown. Hopefully that'll get rid of that little error there. Alright, I think that did it. Alright, now he's got this nice little sheen going across the upper part of his back and his little shoulder blades for like his wings. And a little bit at the front of his head. Right there on his eyebrows. Or his eyebrow, because again, he still has that metallic eye, or that robotic eye that I'm going to start working on here in a bit. Alright, and Emperor, you said that you uploaded it. Is it on Aurelia's Discord? Okay, I'll go ahead and look for it there. Right, let's go ahead and try to put it up. It's a little big, so I'm trying to shrink it down here just so people can see it on the screen. And And voila, there we go. Yeah, very cool. I like what you did with the chest, the gold on the chest there, and the script on the side. Yeah, very cool. I like it. And this is your homebrew chapter. I don't recognize the heraldry. I'll leave that up there for a bit just so we can keep seeing it. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to at least move it a bit, at least up here. And I'm gonna continue. So we fixed that of the bird. Before we continue with the bird, and you said, no, it's the 12th Legion. 12th Legion. 1 second while I go through my vast data banks to find out which one the 12th Legion is. Oh, the Warhounds. Very cool. So you're going with pre-heresy Warhounds? Oh, the 13th Legion. Okay, hold on. I'll have to look that one up. Oh, Ultramarines. Okay. Yeah, I didn't recognize cause I didn't know if the Ultramarines had like golden or at least yellow shoulder parts. All right, so, but yeah, very cool. So yeah, we still have more of the bird to go, but I kind of want to do something that I saw in a miniature to really highlight this sword's powerness, it being a power sword and whatnot. I'm gonna try to do that real quick, cause I saw it and it looks very simple, and I am eager to do that. So we'll start with Thousand Suns Blue. And we'll be sticking with Quintuple Zero Marie. That's one of the brush I've been using so far, just so you're aware. just adding that little bit of blue already gives it that power sword aura. That riz, as some people say. Now we're gonna add another color of the Northern Blue to give it a bit more of a glow. Sony Rose playing the Space Marine saxophone, and if you notice, I got it fixed. We finally have the Space Marine actually playing the saxophone this time. Sony Rose goes, woohoo! And so is Bubblegum Fairy. Fairy. Now it's looking a little bit brighter. Wait. Yeah, Bubblegum Fairy, well, Sony Rose is the Bubblegum Fairy copycat. And I realized I want to put a little bit more of that glow around it. So I'm going to go back with the Thousand Suns Blue. Let's go around this side. And the Bogle Fairy says, I was gonna say great minds think alike. True that, so it's 70 rows. And then Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, I heard from the Inquisitor representative of High Lords of Terra talking about passing legislation to prevent the Inquisition from going and committing extra matters without a warrant. Cough, Critman, cough. Yeah, I can totally agree with that. Exterminatus is always a little extreme, hence the name, but still, it should be something where there should be a majority consensus about it, at least, not just done on a whim. For those of you who don't know, Exterminatus is a decree made on a planet that it should be destroyed, and it's usually bombarded with all kinds of stuff, to where there's nothing that's that can live in that planet anymore. It just gets bombarded to oblivion. Many times just the planet destroyed altogether, as opposed to just being a lifeless planet. But it really depends. It's not always the same, I guess, course of action. But the idea is the same. Destroy the planet so that nothing can live in it. I'm gonna go a little bit more with that Northern Blue on top again, just to make sure I didn't lose any of that, that glow. And Bogan Fairy says, you read my mind, thanks. Hey, you're welcome. I like to think that there's people here who are maybe new to Warhammer and might need a little bit of help. Okay, and now finally to give it that brightness at the tip, let's find that ceramite white that I got there. And again, because this one is so watery, because I put water in it, I just go straight into the bottle, as opposed to water it down with some water beforehand. And there we go. Now that node is nice and glowy. But yeah, I saw this effect done on one of the miniatures on the Warhammer website for one of their Imperial Guardsmen. So I was like, oh, that's actually really good, because I felt like the sword was kind of lacking something. It's lacking the ability to show that it is a power sword of some kind. So I figured I'd do that, and I think it worked out. Alright, let's go back to the bird. Bird. The bird's the word. Okay, let's see if I can use my mechanic as standard gray. Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, if I can recall correct, my first time calling in an extra mouse was during Goj Van Dyer's Reign of Terror. Prefer to call it his reign of stupidity and petulantness. Really? So, that was a while ago. Don't worry, Lord Inquisitor, I will not ask your age, because that is very rude. But that was definitely a long time ago. And Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, yeah, to say that I wanted to call a Vindicator Assassin on him is just the icing on the cake. Yeah, Vindicator Assassins are pretty neat. I actually painted one a few streams back. So if you want to check out how that turned out, yeah, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is at Kor'Sarro Art. It was a Vindicator Assassin that I got. It was a gift from Adeptus Phoenix Gaming. Yeah. Yeah, Adeptus Phoenix Gaming was kind enough to send me a couple models, and that was one of them. And now again, to do that extreme highlight, we're gonna use Ceramite White. Just right there on the tip of his beak. And maybe a little bit on his little talons. And there we go. Now we gotta work on his eye. And I think we'll be done with the bird. I really gotta stop saying bird. Every single time I say bird, that bird song pops up in my head. It's Falcon. 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 Alright, so we're gonna use Lead Belcher next. Because he needs his robot eye. And it's not really showing right now. Maybe not that Lead Belcher, that's the old Lead Belcher. We need the new Lead Belcher. And again, we're sticking with the same brush because we're doing a lot of fine detail. So no need to switch it out. Anyone here a fan of Joe Plays? I've been watching her videos recently. Very fun stuff. He likes talking a lot about the lore of Darktide. I didn't realize how much in the way of lore of Darktide is happening in the background. I've only played the game a little bit. Well, I played the game a lot, but not enough to, I guess, really garner that this whole subplot line going on in the background. And the God Emperor Man says, well, anyways, I am heading off. Stay safe, Interrogator, and remember, I am eternally watching over all citizens of the Imperium. Well, you take care, the God Emperor of Man. Always a pleasure to have you, and thank you for showing me your model. It's looking really good. Thank you. And, yeah, take care. Have a good night. Okay, now that robotic guy is showing a little bit more, but we do need the piece of resistance. Now here's the question. Red lens, blue lens, or green lens? What lens should I paint for the eye of the robot eye of the Falcon? Because I feel like, is red really the right color? I know I got a lot of red on him already. So I'm wondering if maybe I should go with another color. And I just recently added blue to the mix with the power sword. So like, well, maybe I should get painted a blue color. But then there's always a possibility of it being sort of night vision. And I thought maybe it'd be neat to paint it a green. Purple lens. I don't know. Is anybody else feeling that purple? I mean, I'm not feeling the purple. Sorry, Bubblegum Fairy, but I'm not really feeling that. I don't think it'll go well with the rest of the color scheme. Green is a good color for complementing with reds. That's why I thought of that. So we get a lot of red and whites. I don't know if a single purple lens would look good. But thank you for the suggestion. So I'll leave that for now. I won't be painting the color. I'll wait for a little bit more. And then Thaddeus Clanton says, "Oi, green is the best color," and he means best color. Welcome, Thaddeus. Glad you could join us. How you been? Yeah, I'm feeling the green, but again, that's why I don't know if like just single pop of green is enough. Or it will just be too much. That's why I'm like, is green the right one? So, anybody else agree with the green? If so, then green it is. But I kind of want a little bit more consensus here. Alright, in the meantime. And then Thaddeus says, "I've been alright. As for color, I don't know." Well, you already said green, so I'm putting that one already on the list. And Ludicrous Callahan says, "What about a light green?" Yeah, I have some light greens that could possibly work, but we needed to make it look like it glows. So I can't go too light where it just looks kind of desaturated. I need a bright color. Again, these are like robo eye lenses, so You always want them to glow a little bit. Sunny Rose says, can you hold his face up again so I can see it closer? So yeah, there's the bird, and his robot eyes right there. But we've only painted the metallic part. We need to paint the actual lens of the eye. And then Sunny Rose saying yellow or red. Yellow will get kind of drowned out by the rest of his feathers. So we got now one going red and one going green. Because my worry with the red is like there's already a lot of red on this model. Now I'm about to add some more red on the back. So yeah, at least the red would be in keeping with the rest of the color scheme, but I feel like maybe something to make that eye pop should happen. But it would be a bright red, so I think it would be okay if it is red. Alright, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and start adding some varying colors to his hand. And by his hand, I mean Kor'Sarro Khan's hand, because the bird doesn't have any hands. He's got wings. So we're gonna use Muangfang Brown to make it pop. And Sunny Rose says, I didn't realize you were talking about the bird, lol. Bright green. Okay, so that's 2 for green. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with that green then. We got 2 green. I think I'm gonna call it. Alright, so now that we know what color the eye's gonna be, let's go ahead and add a bit of non-oil on there just so that we can get some contrast on the... Well, it's tiny enough. I don't think I need any kind of contrast, but I will need some highlight. So we're going to use a Stormhole Silver for the rest of the metallic eye. And we have the original Chaos Hunter. Long time no see, good sir. Saying, greetings, Agent Rosario. How you been, Chaos Hunter? What you been up to? Have a good, been having a good time all together? Hopefully all is well. Because I was going to say have a good week, but it's been a while, so... it's been more than a week. Everything going okay? Alright, let's start adding that green. We're gonna add Warpstone Glow first. The original Chaos Hunter says, it's been a bit, yeah, I've been well, thank you, and you? I'm glad you're doing well. I've been pretty good, very busy the last few days. I've been getting ready to move locations, so my new headquarters should be coming up soon. Aside from that, also preparing for this big training event that we'll be doing with some Imperial Guardsmen. That's starting this coming week. So we'll be doing that for 2 weeks. That's why we won't be available for streaming next week. Again, be prepared for that. I will not be streaming next week. Yeah, everything going pretty hectic, but in a good way. And there we go, we have that green eye. And then the original Chaos Hunter says, sleep cycle has been crap. I've been asleep the last few times you've been on. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's been making it crap? Is it just work or something else? Now I'm gonna try to add some of this Tesseract glow. And the original Chaos Hunter says boredom. Unending, relentless boredom. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything you wish you were doing? Instead of being bored, like, I don't know, playing some new game, taking up a hobby, going out. Anything like that? And now we're gonna add a moot green. And now we have that bright glow to the eye. This bird is ready for some night vision. Let me see if I can also paint his other eye, because I can kind of see it. Yeah. But it's not that noticeable. So let's go ahead and see if we can paint that eye. So we're going to start with Abaddon Black. And if you know any birds, they usually have these pitch dark eyes. So I'm going to try to get that kind of looking just right, where it looks pitch black, maybe a smidgen of a reflection. But we'll see if we can actually pull off that reflection. Alright, I know you can barely see it, but it's there. At least I can zoom in as opposed to trying to get the Falcon close to the camera. There's his eye. I painted it black. And original Chaos Hunter says, working. Can't find a job willing to hire a person in a wheelchair. I qualify for disability, but not having the routine of work has hard to adjust to. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I can understand why you'd be feeling as bored and restless as you are. And the original Chaos Hunter says, the content's looking great, by the way. Oh, thank you, thank you. Is there now a lot of, I guess, remote jobs you could apply to? I mean, I don't know what your qualifications or specialties are. But I know that a lot of remote jobs happen at nowadays. So that, you know, if you're working from home, I don't think being in a wheelchair will affect at least your employment all that much. Sorry, the original Chaos Hunter says it could be worse. Yeah, it could be. At least, you know, at least you got disability, so, you know, that's always that plus side. You're still getting paid. Hagaton says, hey there, Kor'Sarro. How's it going, you silly lad, you? I'm doing good. How you been? What you been up to? Hagaton says, not a lot. Oh, why, what's up? Alright, now I gotta be extra careful because we're about to add white to black, so... Just want it to be a light dab. There we go. Looking rather angry. Okay, so Hayton says not a lot. On Act 3 with Ghost of Tsushima, working on Tormentors from the Commission, and currently enjoying a pandan sponge cake. I've never had a pandan sponge cake. Is that any good? Are you, what's it made out of? 'Cause I've had sponge cake before, but not pandan sponge cake. And still enjoying Ghost of Tsushima? Wait, Ghost of Tsushima? Sorry. Yeah, that's what I plan to work on. If I do get to stream tomorrow, again, fingers crossed that I get to do that. I do plan to work on that commission that I have there. Anton says, I can't remember. It smells amazing. Is it sweet or is it something a bit more savory? And then he says, Ghost of Tsushima is amazing. I don't want to rush it. I don't blame you. Alright, so we're gonna go with that Morn Frame Brown now. Now that we're finally done with the bird. The bird is complete. The falcon is complete. No more worrying about the falcon. Now we gotta start worrying about the rest of Kor'Sarro Khan, which is his glove. That glove that's actually holding the falcon. The Falconeering glove. And we gotta worry about the cloak. And the base. And then we should be done. Harrington says, slightly sweet but flowery. I'm gonna have to try that at some point. And the original Chaos Hunter says, have you done any more Kill Team concept work? No, I haven't. I've been wanting to get back to it. But since I started working on this model, and I also have a commission that I'm working on, that's kind of been on the back foot. But I do have some more ideas for more of my Kill Team. And Hickerton says, the guy wanted 40 Tormentors done on a tabletop standard, and that isn't a problem for me. It's the Fulgrim that I'm worried about. Oh, wow, so you got the Fulgrim, huh? The new one or the original one from Horus Heresy? And Hecatan says Horus Heresy version. Oh wow, so yeah, that's quite the intricate model. Yeah, I'm not surprised you're you're worried about that one. And the original Chaos Hunter says a model commission, like miniatures or computer. Miniatures, yeah. I'm currently working on an astropath for a client. So, yeah, he wants this astropath done. He kit bashed it out of some pieces from Necromunda and the Primaris Psyker. Looks really cool. So I've worked on it a few times, and I've gotten quite a bit far with it, but I haven't completed it yet. And it would be nice to get a continue finishing it before I move to my new headquarters. Hackathon says Horse Heresy Demon version, the original Chaos. Oh, and before that, okay, so I guess there was a few things there. The original Chaos wanted to ask me that question, which I answered, and then Hackathon says miniatures, which I'm guessing was replying to that, but I wasn't sure if he was on me or he was on a Hackathon. So I answered the question. The original Chaos Hunter that says before or after Demon HUD, and then it says Horse Heresy Demon version, and then the original Chaos Hunter says neat. Now we're all up to speed. Alright, and we could already see that glove a lot better. I think there is more on the back though, so let's go ahead and get on that. And the Chaos Hunter says I wouldn't dare do anything with such flesh. So much flesh. I can't paint flesh to save my life. I've really enjoyed learning how to paint flesh, but it was kind of a sort of a trial and error type of thing. Once I started trying to implement a lot of the theory behind non-metallic metal, I think that's when flesh started really coming together for me. Hackathon says it takes time and practice. Yeah. Hackathon says painting flesh and skin is similar to non-metallic metal. Yep. Okay, so we have that on. Now we gotta get a little bit more of a highlight. But you know what? Let's continue. Let's not work on that yet. Let's actually work on the pistol holster there. Haven't touched that at all yet. But if we're gonna do that, we're gonna need a bigger brush. Let's go ahead and clean off the brush that we're currently using now and switch this thing a little bit bigger. Hackathon says, right now I'm struggling on painting the eyes. Oh yeah, eyes can usually be quite the struggle. But a little technique that I've learned that unfortunately I don't always implement, so I forget sometimes, is to paint the eyes first before anything else. You prime the model and then go right to the eyes. So that if you go over, any of the parts that you don't want painted, you can just paint over it later once you're actually adding on the rest of the color. So that's been my best way to get the best eyes. Like I don't always do it, and I sometimes forget to do it. But the one time that I've done it, it came out beautifully, and that was my Space Wolf. My Space Wolf. I did that with him, and his eyes look great. So let's switch out here. Where's the little cap of this? Ultimately lost the cap. Oh no, there it is. Okay. Yes, now I remember what I can do. So we're gonna use size 2 Grabby. Plenty of size for what we need. And the Regional Chaos Hunter says, best I ever painted was the second version of Legion of the Damn Minis. White base and some Agrax and Null. I ended up with a properly dead, milky looking eye. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Totally an accident, was just messing around with the model. Sometimes those are what lead to some innovations. But yeah, that actually sounds like it came out really neat. I would love to see it. Now I'm feeling like there's not enough contrast there, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some, where is it? There we go. I'm gonna add some Agrath Earthshade to get some more contrast onto that part of the gun. The Regional Chaos Center says, I do have Instagram, but I have never done anything with it. Would I have to upload to my page to share it? I don't have a Discord or anything like that, so yeah, that would be... Well, I do have a Discord, but I have like my own, like just, what's it called? My own... I don't have a Discord page, but I do have Discord. I guess I'll put it that way. So if Discord is not something you have, then yeah, probably uploading it onto Instagram or sending me the picture via Instagram would also be another way to do it. I'm gonna put in a little bit more. I feel like it needs some more contrast. Okay, done with the wash. Let's see if we can get some highlights on there. Now, what would be a good highlight for this? And Tony Rose says, is it a real bird with robot eyes or is it a robot bird? I think it's a real bird with robot eye. Buggle Fairy says purple will be a great highlight. You really stuck on that purple. I think I'm gonna go with the Xandri Dust. Yeah, Xandri Dust will be the highlight. And we're switching right back to that quintuple zero Marie. Sony Rose says it kind of looks like a statue bird. Okay, so I might have gone a little too heavy with the yellows then. Like I was going for more of a light brown. Sunny Rose says, I'm excited to see how the highlight turns out. And then the original, oh, thank you very much, by the way. I'm hoping you're liking how it's looking. Adding a little bit there, right there. And then the Reno Chaos Hunter says, looks kind of wooden, but golden eagles are that color though. Yeah, I was kind of going off of a lot of the colors of the original Falcon or Eagle. I think it might be an Eagle, you might be right, of Kor'Sarro Khan. trying to make the edges look a little bit more scratchy, kind of like how you see on some leather. And we have J-Ray saying hello. How you doing, J-Ray? Have a good week. What you been up to? And then Nibinos the Chaos Hunter says, did you know that the steppe folk of Mongolia use eagles to hunt small deer and even wolves? I always figured they were falcons, but now it makes sense. Yeah, so I guess that is an eagle in the White Scar's original color scheme. And I always thought it was a falcon for some reason. And the original Chaos Hunter says those birds are frighteningly large. Yeah, I would think so. You don't mess with an eagle. Cherry says, any of y'all looking into the new Draw Steel RPG? I haven't heard of that. What is that? Sound like a video game or a tabletop game or... J-Ray says, cinematic action, heroic fantasy, TTRPG with Matt Colville as a product manager. Matt Colville as in the artist of Penny Arcade. And Jerry says, I'm running a one-shot next week. Ooh, very nice. Okay, I think that is done, at least as far as the leather. Because I noticed there's a little skull there. We gotta paint that skull now. There's a skull there, and there's also a skull on his glove. But now that we're back to using this color, let's go ahead and start adding some of this Xandri dust to the glove itself. Is there a trailer for the, what do you call it, Draw Steel? And Jerry says MCDM Productions is releasing an actual play with a development team. Cool. Is like I said, is there a trailer out for it or something? I know sometimes new RPGs or new tabletop game will have a trailer even though they're not like necessarily cinematic things. And Visa says, oh yeah, I did see one recently, released recently. How you doing, Visa? How you been? Welcome, welcome. Alright, I'll check out and see if I can look at a trailer before the stream is out. Visa says, I'm doing quite well. It's rather hot, so just trying to minimize the melting. Oh, well, stay cool out there. Visa said, I don't think MCDM put out a trailer either. His advertising has been weirdly sparse. Might be getting more info from the Kickstarter page. Well, I'll at least see if there's any pictures. I think we're done with the glove, at least, again, with the brown, because we still have to paint a little skull on there. Alright, so, what was it called? Draw something? Draw steel. Okay, let me look it up. Alright, yeah, let me pop this up so that you can see it. Alright, there we go. Took us a while, we got it. Yeah, so this is Draw Steel. Let's see if we can see any pictures or anything like that. It's got some nice art, that's for sure. I guess not what I'm thinking about when I think Matt Colville. Maybe I was thinking E. McConville. Oh, that's probably why the art isn't matching what I was thinking. Time Raider. Any relation to the Time Bandits? Alright, so it says Draw Steel Heroes. All the rules for making heroes and running combat in MCDM's new fantasy RPG. Everything you need except the monsters, including... there's a lot of stuff on there, but I kind of want to know a little bit. Here we go. Draw Steel, a new game for a new age. Draw Steel is the breathtaking new action-oriented fantasy RPG from MCDM that's both fun to play and fun to run. Designed for 5 players, meant to be played using maps with a grid, Draw Steel is the result of thousands of hours of testing and polish. In Draw Steel, your characters grow more powerful over the course of the battle, not less. Characters build heroic resources over the course of the battle, so battles get more interesting round by round. But Draw Steel is not only a game about epic battles against hideous monsters, the game also features robust detailed rules for montages. Cinematic sequences where the heroes work together, use the skills in imaginative ways to defeat a series of non-combat challenges, navigate a deadly swamp, escape a collapsing ruin. The montage rules make it easy for directors to design new montages and challenge their players in creative new ways outside of combat. Negotiations, convincing an NPC to help you or stop helping your enemy can radically change an adventure. The rules for character creation in Draw Steel produce three-dimensional characters, and with the negotiation rules, you can quickly make an NPC a fully realized character with their own motivations. All this is all this and a ton of dope art from your friends at MCDM. And the original Chaos Hunter says, oh wait, no, there was a few more messages before that. And Visor says, pre-hack and slash focus, crunchier TTRPG of the I can't believe it's not a 5e batch. Yeah, I've heard of other game systems that kind of try to take this more cinematic approach. I remember playing one a few years back. I cannot remember the name of the system though, so I'm sorry to say. But we were kind of doing this whole like Eastern fantasy, very China or Japan inspired. And I was playing this little monkey girl named Oashi. Had a lot of fun. Kind of playing off of the whole Monkey King vibe, you know, Sun Wukong. And the original Cat Hunter says, I was thinking like a Western. Yeah, you would think, right? With called Drawing Steel. You think like, or I guess... Is it drawing iron? Like draw that iron, you know, or whip out that iron. So it might have been just iron. So maybe that's why. Steel, I guess, is more related to, you know, I guess swords. No, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's steel guns, but usually whenever there's like a synonymous word to guns, it's iron, I think. And J-Ray says, draw your sword, lol. Yeah, exactly. Evisa says, I think the old phrase was draw your irons. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. And then the original Chaos Hunter says, yeah, skin them toasters. I love Westerns. I'm a big fan of those, so... Yeah, I could talk for hours. But yeah, I guess I'll just ask, what's everybody's favorite Western? Since we're all talking about Westerns now. But the game looks pretty neat. I mean, it seems rather basic fantasy, so at least I'm not noticing a big hook there for me. At least as far as the setting. But the gameplay mechanics could be good. You're gonna have to let us know how that plays there, J-Ray. I've been playing Dark Heresy, or at least I've been running Dark Heresy, and I love how crunchy the combat feels. Like, every single time you do damage, you know how you got damaged. And Hecate says, what do you mean by Western? In which context? Like Western movie or show? We could go with show, too. Okay, so back to the model. Where was I? Hackathon says the Mummy will always be my favorite. Yeah, I guess the Mummy kind of takes place in that era. Maybe a little bit after that era. A little bit more of the, I guess, cars, like once the automobile became fashionable. But yeah, it's close enough. I would say I could count it. Yeah, I'll count it, sure. I do like the Mummy. I like the first one and the second one. First one, obviously, more. The original Chaos Hunter says, my dad was a John Wayne fan, so I have a soft spot for his stuff. The movie Tombstone. Nice. J-Ray. Yes. That is the best Western ever. I love Tombstone. I'm your Huckleberry. But yeah, I guess J-Ray and I agree on what the best one is. The Hackathon says you mean that type of Western movie. Oh, the spaghetti Western. Spaghetti Western is specific genre of Western, and it's called spaghetti Western because they were made in Italy. And then Hecate says, yeah, I don't have one. That's okay. Yeah, now, Westerns are for everybody. And Chaos Hunter says, I don't remember the movie title, but the one where John Wayne's character takes a gang of kids on as a cattle hands for a drive. It's one of the best. It's one of his best. I haven't seen many John Wayne movies, so unfortunately I'm a little lost there. So I don't know what the answer for that would be. Sorry. Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, I shall send the legislation report via data link to your Lady Inquisitor about the new legislation Lex. It's known as the Lex Exterminatus Filing Protocol, LEFP. Okay, yeah, I'll make sure she gets that. Hopefully my newsphere can handle all the data going through. It says also the Westerns is a short but explosive period in American history. Yes, it is. And apparently it was nowhere near as bad as the movies portray. But people obviously like to romanticize. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and paint those skulls. So we're going with Lead Belcher again. Chaos Hunter says, still making brake pads, Inquisitor Callahan. Guess in between dealing with the High Lords of Terra, he's also make brake pads. That's pretty cool. Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, what do you mean by that, Chaos Hunter? Now that I think about it, I think that might be a movie reference. And Hackerton says the funniest thing is you can have a samurai, Indian, cowboy, pirate within in the same time frame. I don't know about pirate, or at least not Pirates of the Caribbean style pirates, but pirates still exist to this day, so I guess you could technically say yes. But yeah, they all those were available during that time frame. And the original Chaos Hunter says, sorry, bad movie joke. Callahan Breaks was a company in the Chris Farley movie. Yes, that's what I was thinking you were referring to once I thought about it for a second. They destroy a beautiful 1967 Plymouth GTX in that movie. Oh yeah, the whole car just goes up in smoke. Or it breaks down. I think it just breaks down. It just crumbles, right? Why did I clean the brush when I had more skull to paint? Okay, now we have those skulls painted up. We still gotta give them a little bit of an edge highlight. The original Chaos Hunter says Hollywood loves to trash old Mopars in their films and shows. Yeah, I mean, that was primarily how they did all their stunts, really. They used real cars. Now it's all CGI. I don't know how to feel about that, honestly. There's something visceral about a real car crash. Yeah, it's safer, but maybe not as exciting. Hetton says Mopars? Yeah, I don't know what that term means either, so yeah, maybe you can enlighten us. And Lord Gallagher says just looked up a 1967 Plymouth GTX, and that is a nice car, but I drive a 1969 Aston Martin DB5. Ooh. They don't even make those anymore. I just wonder how you got a Mechanicus, or a Magos, should I say, to make that one for you. Heckaton says someone is a big fan of old cars. Hey, nothing wrong with loving old cars. Old cars are great. I just wish I knew more about them. And Chaos Hunter says Mopars, Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth, DeSoto, and Fargo. Mopar was a performance division of the Chrysler Corporation, so if it was any vehicle made in the 60s and 70s under the Chrysler umbrella, it's a Mopar. And the heck is this? Okay. All right. So we've gotten quite a bit done. Still a little details here and there. We have completed his bird. We've completed his glove. We've completed the sword. We gave it a little bit of a power node effect. We even completed his holster. So all that's left is his cloak and the base itself. So I am pretty happy with how Kor'Sarro Khan has come out. This has been a very, very fun experience. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end it today, varlets. But if you like what I do and would like to support, then please consider subscribing to my Twitch channel or donating to my Ko-Fi at Rosario Heart. Or if you missed an episode, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, which is also called Rosario Heart. And again, letting you know that I will not be streaming next week. I'm going to try to do a stream tomorrow, but I make no promises. I might not have the time to do it. But fingers crossed that I do. And I'll be working on the Astropath for tomorrow. But also, some more news. I will be coming out with my new Rosario rant next week. It'll be on the 14th. So on the 14th is when my next one comes out, and it'll be on what I consider to be the best armies in Warhammer 40k, from worst to best. I'm counting all of them, all 18 of them. So yeah, go ahead and keep an eye out for that. It'll be all of them. Space Marines, Eldar, Orcs, you name it, I count them. And the original Chaos Hunter says, first Visa says, he's coming out fantastically. Thank you. Original Chaos Hunter after that says, yeah, it's coming along very nicely. Thank you very much. And Bogan Fairy says, can we name the bird Amy, this, or Violet? You know, maybe we can name her Amy. Yeah, let's call the bird Amy. Oh, you mean Amethyst? Okay, we can call her Amethyst, but nickname Amy. How about that? And Lord Quizzacala has, I know a colleague who owns a 1920 Mercedes-Benz S-Series. Now that is an old car. Oh yeah, that's a gorgeous car. But alright, varlets, that's it for today. Let's see who we can raid before we go. Okay, there's this VTuber who's a little dog, and he's doing a chair event. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and check out his stuff. He works on miniatures and some Warhammer. So yeah, let's see what he does. But yeah, varlets, it's been a pleasure, guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start signing out. So I'll be signing out from the Grimdark Future. Bye-bye, varlets, and I'll see you guys in either tomorrow or 2 weeks.